Good morning, good evening, hello, how you doing? I don't know what time of day it is for you, but I thank you for taking time out of your schedule to tune into another episode of Inspirations with Rashonda, which is a little bit of this, a little bit of that, all inspiration for your mind, body, and soul. So today I want to talk about Proverbs 1 and 7, which says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom." The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And I want to share the revelation that I got from that because every day I ask God, I'm like, God, according to James 1 and 5, you say you will give, if any man lacks wisdom, you will give to all men liberally. Let him ask of God and you will give to all men liberally. And that second verse says, but we have to come to him in faith, believing that we're going to get what we receive. And my prayer is, God, I thank you for giving me wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and bless me to exercise good judgment at all times. Like, that's my everyday prayer. But I've been stuck on this, the fear of the Lord. So I'm like, well, what does that really mean? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Like, what is that? So this is what I came to me and what I wrote down. So I said, what fear of the Lord really is? It means to have respect and reverence for God and to be in awe of his majesty and power. So really, fear of the Lord means you have a deep respect and honor for God, to treat God with the utmost respect, with fear and wonder. We have to treat God like we treat the important people in our lives, such as a parent, boss, or pastor, friend, mentor. We tend to show these people great respect, most times greater respect than we show God. But God, or the fear of the Lord, has to be of greater precedence in your life, much greater than the boss, parent, pastor, or friend. The same way we respect these people, God is requiring that we respect him this way. And even more, he has to come before anything else in your life and everything in your life. That's where wisdom begins, by putting him on the pedestal of your life before anyone else takes a seat there. We have to get back to putting God first. You lacking wisdom? You have to uphold God higher than anything else in your life. We have to be able to let people go, not let God go, but we'll do the opposite. And that's not fear of the Lord. You have just put an idol over God. Reverencing God means fear and respect. For God is gone at this point, and so is wisdom. When we allow other people to take the place of God or to sit on that pedestal, then reverence, fear, and all that stuff of God, it's like gone. Their reverence and respect for God is gone. That means we have put somebody else in his place. We have to give God total control over our lives. He doesn't want the control to make us into robots and do mindless things. He wants control to steer us in the right direction. God wants what's best for us. He knows that by ourselves we won't be able to choose wisely or know what's best for our lives. We have to trust the God of 1,000 years, for he sees all, knows all, and wants to protect and give us his best. There really can be peace here on earth with us giving God the keys to our lives, but mostly our hearts, which all starts with fearing him. God wants to be held in high esteem. And Job 28 and 8 says, "The fear of the Lord is true wisdom. To forsake evil is real understanding. And if you look at Psalms chapter 103, verses 11, 13, and 17, they all have fear of the Lord. For the Lord said, this is for those people who fear God. This is for those people that fear God. This is for those people that fear God. And that's what it is. God wants like presidents, total presidents. What I realize is that I haven't acquired wisdom because I've never shown God true respect. I have not given God VIP access to my life. Like there are times where, I said earlier where, I would give him VIP access until, a love interest would come along, or something that I really, really liked, would come along, or I got the job, I got the car, everything in my life is going well. He would be gone then, because I would always put those things in his place. I would put God up, take him down. Put him up, take him down. Put him up, take him down. But fear of the Lord is keeping God in that place. It doesn't matter what comes or what goes. The same respect that we show our parents. You know how sometimes we can go around our parents and we won't curse around them. We won't do certain things around them. We'll go around our bosses. We won't do certain things around our bosses. We won't say certain things around our bosses. Why? Because we have a certain respect. It's a respect for them. We won't do certain things. We won't act out of character, or whatever. And that's what God wants. He wants that same reverence. The reverence we show our parents, the reverence we show our bosses, and the important people that we deem important in our lives. God wants that reverence. So that's what he wants. But, it's all about respect. Having such a reverence in your heart of God that you choose not to do anything outside of your character that will bring his name to shame. God wants to be first. So I put that once I learn to show God some respect in my heart and life, then I'll obtain wisdom. So, God wants to be God before the blessing. Like he wants to be there before the blessing, God before the miracles, God before the marriage, God before the promotion, God before the family, God before the major decision, God over all. That's what fear of the Lord is. God over all. He wants to be there before everything and not to be taken down, just to have something else placed there. But he wants to be the first in everything. He wants that seat in your life. He wants that first place. He wants to be honored first. He wants to be reverenced like you reverence, you have some sport fanatics, people that are, football fanatics, and they love football, and they'll put football over everything. You'll go in their room, and next thing you have, they got posters, they got everything imaginable to represent that team because they love that team. They respect that team. And you better not talk about that team, because if you do, it's subject to be, some words or a fight may break out. The same love and adoration and attention that we give to something like that can't save our souls, that can't do nothing for us. God is saying, I want to be that thing. I want you to love me like that. I want you to, hey, if somebody say something about me, say something about my name, hey, not to say that God wants us to fight, because he's a God of decency and in order, so come on. But what I'm saying is, like, he wants that same respect, that same love that you have for these mindless things. That's all he wants. He wants to be the God over everything. And that's what the fear of the Lord is. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So in order to obtain wisdom, hey, we got to show God some respect and give him the respect that he deserves. God over everything.